What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video, and in today's video we are going to be going over the newest updates over on the official forums, as we now know what we can expect and what we will be getting tomorrow for the Valentine's Day 2022 events in the King of Fighters All-Star. We're also going to be talking about some very important events that are going to be ending today, and we're also going to be ranting about one of those because, to be honest with you guys, I'm not in a very good mood today because, well, yesterday I sat through Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City for the first time, and yeah, I'm already in a pissy mood, and then I had to wake up to this stuff. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and talk about this, but before we get into all of that and more, make sure, if you guys haven't already done so, you smash that like button and subscribe. And with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get into the news updates. Cue the intro. Alright, you guys know, as always, links will be in the description to all of these forum posts, so let's go ahead and get into it. So first up here, I just want to make a quick note to you guys. This is going to be a patch update for the Valentine's Day update, so you don't need to worry about getting all of your normal dailies done early. However, there is going to be one caveat to that we're going to talk about when we get there. Trust me, we'll get there. Now, when it comes to the 2022 Valentine's Day events that we're getting this year, we're going to get a World Drop event, we're going to get the Valentine's Day Roulette, we're going to get the Melody of Love crafting event, the Valentine gift event, and the event Team Relay dungeon boss. So we'll talk about all of that in depth here momentarily, because right here we have the in-game event notice, which is pretty sparse on details and really poorly put together as always, because StevenYoo is the best CM in the entire world. Anyway, let's talk about the World Drop event. So we are going to have a World Drop event. Now basically this ties into the roulette. We're basically going to need to pick up 3 different sources for a crafting event that we're going to need to do. One of those sources comes from the roulette, from best we can tell, and then we're also going to be able to pick up these 2 different musical notes from these different dungeons. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So first up here, for the actual roulette tickets, of course you can go ahead and do your daily ads and so on and so forth, but you'll also be able to grind these from these dungeons here. So you'll have to do the Element Advent, the Hall of Elements, the Fighter Advent, and the Soul Quest in order to obtain these. And then when it comes to those musical notes that you'll need for that crafting event, which we will talk about, you will need to grind on the story mode for the 16th note, and then on the weekly battle card dungeon for the 8th note. So those are going to be the different things that we are going to be grinding for the World Drop event, and that is pretty much what you're looking at there. Now, when it comes to the roulette is interesting this time around, and being the fact that StevenYoo can't be nice enough to give us a screenshot of this thing like they do over on the Korean side, I'll go ahead and pop it up on screen for you guys so you can actually see what you're looking at. But basically, as you guys can see, there's going to be those musical notes on there, and then there's also going to be things such as hammers and capsules. So this time around, this roulette isn't necessarily anything that's super duper exciting. The biggest question mark going into this entire event is going to be what we're going to be able to get from those boxes that we can craft. That is going to be the biggest thing of interest to me personally, because honestly, you guys, the rest of this stuff is not really all that exciting to me. Really what's interesting is going to be what we can craft, and that is going to be what make or breaks this update for me personally. So as you guys can see on screen, that's what you're going to be able to get with the roulette. We'll talk a little bit more about it as we go through here, but that's what you're going to be seeing there. Now, this is the crafting event. Now, as you guys can already tell, we're going to be able to pick up Lovely or Idol Kula and craft her if we so choose, which for me personally, I'm probably not going to be doing that unless I'm forced to, if we have to go through this entire thing to get to the end of it or something like that, and we can't just pick and choose the things we want to craft, which I don't know how it's structured, so I don't know. That's just a potential thing, maybe, we'll see, but we will be able to get Lovely Kula, which at this point is super outdated, not even really all that important, even for a new player. So I'm just being honest there. But when it comes to these boxes, this is what I'm really the most interested in. It's really tough to tell what's going on with these boxes, what's all going to be in there. These are mystery boxes, as indicated by the giant question mark here. It looks like this one here is going to have hammers. This one here is going to have Awakening XP capsules. And then this one here, Starstone? I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see, you guys. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be looking at with this crafting event. Like I said, if what is in some of these boxes, and as you can see, this actually does scroll over more, which we can't do, obviously, so we won't be able to tell what's here. So there is going to be more than what we can see in this screenshot. We'll just have to wait and see what it actually is that we can craft before we can make any judgment calls. So that's pretty much what you're looking at there. Now, this right here is where it mentions the Melody of Love G-Clef item. This is only obtainable from the roulette, so we will need this in order to work on crafting this stuff. So as you guys can see, these are the items we're going to need to craft these things. So we're basically going to need all these different musical notes and this G-Clef. The musical notes we already talked about, we can get from the World Drop event, and the G-Clef is from the roulette event. So there you have it, and there you are. That is how you're going to be able to craft this stuff. And again, this is really going to come down to what is in these boxes for me. Now, when it comes to the Valentine gift event, this is something that I do want to point out here real quick. So you're going to be able to obtain these Valentine chocolates and these heart letters through the Team Relay dungeon, and you're going to be able to obtain different rewards for a mileage with this event as you collect those. So we're going to have to wait and see what we're going to be able to get from this thing for the different level up rewards or the different mileage rewards for this event. This could potentially be where we might get a generic memory or something of the sort, but there is no confirmation on that 100% at this point. So take everything with a giant pinch of salt, you guys. I know that everybody's going to be throwing out wild accusations when it comes to what you're going to be able to obtain from any of this stuff whenever we don't have confirmation. However, right now, again, just all you need to know, we don't have confirmation on anything with this stuff, so keep that in mind. But from what you can see from the screenshot that I'm putting up on screen, this is going to be what this looks like, and you are going to be able to obtain different rewards for leveling this thing up by playing that relay event and getting these different items. So that's what you're going to be seeing with the Valentine gift event. We'll hopefully get something good on this thing, but time will tell. Now, we have an event team relay dungeon boss. This is going to be Kasumi. Now, as you guys can see on screen, this is a screenshot of this because, again, CMUri does nothing. So as you guys can see, Kasumi is going to be a new relay boss. We'll have to wait and see how difficult or not difficult this really is, but at the end of the day, it will be nice to do something different. So there's always that, but that is what we are going to be getting from these different events, and that does appear to be all of what we are going to be getting. So overall, nothing overly exciting in my opinion, but maybe I'm just in a bad mood. But at the same time, I am really interested to see what's going on in here. This is, to me, the selling point. If what's in here is going to be worth it, then that could make this entire event worthwhile. I don't see any mention of a generic memory or anything like that, although, again, we don't know what's in the crafting event, so fingers crossed, maybe. But at the end of the day, that's what we're looking at there. Now, there is one other thing that was posted over on the forums, and again, I will have links to all this in the description, but I do want to point this out. I'm not going to go into detail on it, but you can go ahead and check this out if you're still having issues getting into the PC beta, because there's going to be some information here that you guys might want to know about. And for me personally, as I look through here, since apparently people think I'm tech support for this game, I'd been getting a ton of people asking me about this one here. So you may want to check this out. Long and the short of it is, you may or may not have a PC that's compatible because your specs might not be high enough. I don't know. You'll have to know that yourself, because I can't come to your house and check, and I'm not going to do so, so don't ask. But with all that being said, that is what you can go ahead and check out there as far as the PC beta. So if you're still having issues, you can check that out, and that might answer your question. So with all of that being said, you guys, let's talk about why I'm not in a great mood. So, all right, I'm excited about this one. So, a couple things. First and foremost, you guys are going to need to get the Rush Dungeon grinded today. Reason being is this thing is ending early. So thing is, guys, the banners for these characters and these cards for this latest SS banner still have 6 days, right? However, the events are ending early. So as you guys can see, the Rush event as well as the Tower are going to be ending, unfortunately. So these are things that you're going to have to go ahead and finish up or go ahead and grind out today if you want to make sure that you are covered, because they will be ending, it looks like, to correspond with the Valentine's Day events. Now, this is something that I had known about for for a while, or at least had obviously seen the discrepancy in the time frames. But I was kind of hoping that this was kind of just maybe an error on Netmarble's part, but from the looks of it, it is not. So you guys are going to need to make sure that you grind this Rush Dungeon event, at least get as many of the coins as possible so that you can go ahead and have enough to get some of these items in here. As you guys can see, I did not hit this thing hard. I really don't care about the Through Darkness set at this point. I'm really over that, and I don't care. Even if it is fodder, I just decided I'm saving the AP on this event. But I do have enough, it looks like, to go ahead and get this stuff every day for the next week or so. So I'll be covered there. So that would be what I would suggest to you guys, because you'll still have this exchange shop open for 7 days. So you'll want to make sure that you grind as much as you can on that. Now, the reason why I'm not in a good mood is right here. So this is also going away. Why this is going away when the actual SS banner is still going on for another week, as we just, well, 6 days, but if you want to argue semantics on 6 days or a week, then get over yourself. But 11 hours and 58 minutes remaining on the codex for characters that are still going to be available in a banner for the next 6 days. What the, really? So again, I had seen the discrepancy in this stuff before, and I just decided to ignore it because I didn't know if that was just maybe a Netmarble oversight and this stuff was going to stick around, and that could very well still happen. Or they might respond to some of the backlash and go, you know what, we screwed up, let's extend this stuff. But where does it make sense? And okay, where does it make sense to have a banner going on for 6 more days when you have a codex that has historically, I don't want to be totally away from my microphone here as I rant, but where does it make any damn sense to have this go away where you can get your stones, which is really all I care about? You know, like the rubies and all the other stuff for people, yeah, that's super good and that's super cool, but at the same time, most people are just trying to get to A3 with their characters in general. So these stones are really, really important. Where does it make any sense to take it away, like almost a week early? What? Doesn't make any sense. This is stupid, just pure stupid. And unless it's an oversight, which we can forgive, if it's not an oversight and it's by design, that's just stupid. Makes not a damn bit of sense. You know, so at this point, where I'm at with things is I'm still considering, and I'll have to figure this out before the end of today, whether or not I want to pull on these characters more, because I want these stones, especially for Mary. I do have 1 copy of the 3rd stone, which I definitely would want to put on her if by some miracle of God I got her to A3. But at the same time, what if people have been trying to grind as many rubies as humanly possible and save up rubies so that they could pull by the end of this banner, and then they end up having to just go ahead and say, okay, well, I either have to make do with what I've got today, or I'm just gonna have to skip. Like, I do not understand the reasoning here. It's absolutely dumb. It's almost as dumb as the new Resident Evil movie that I watched last night and put me in a terrible mood. Yeah, there'll probably be a video ranting about that, and it will not be for all audiences, put it that way. But yeah, anyway, you guys, makes no sense. This right here, stupid as hell. So yeah, make the decision today whether or not you're going to pull for these characters. My suggestion would definitely be to do so, because these characters, especially Terry, but Mary is also brain dead, are just absolutely dumb. But at the same time, where does it make any sense? Like, I would be fine if you just decided, okay, the Rush Dungeon event, again, make sure you grind that thing today if you haven't already done so, and the tower and so on, we're going away. But actually, where's the time attack? I'm gonna check that too. Oh, the time attack's already gone. Well, there's that. Yeah, so I don't know. Netmarble, you make no sense sometimes. If you want to go ahead and maybe do us all a stellar and explain your reasoning behind this, which you won't do, because I know you at this point and you don't like to do that, but this to me just screams stupid, because there is no logistical reasoning here that makes any sort of sense. There is no sort of common sense reasoning here that makes any sort of sense. It just seems like Netmarble was like, I don't know, ended a week early. Dumbasses. Anyway, that is how I feel about that. I do not know what the hell they were thinking, but again, you guys, make sure that you get this stuff done today. I would hate to see you guys miss out on some of those rewards, especially since you can pick up tokens for both the card banner and the fighter banner, as well as hammers for the next week. Also, those soul tokens are really valuable as well, because you can go ahead and just parlay whatever of those souls that you get into purple dust if you want to as well. So there's plenty of value there if you want to grind on that rush dungeon today, just so that way you can continue to exchange for the next week, because again, that exchange shop will be open. And if you need to summon for characters, you need to make that decision today. Otherwise, I would say that the value proposition of summoning at that point plummets. So yeah, anyway, you guys, that's pretty much what we got. We have the Valentine's events coming tomorrow, which we'll cover in tomorrow's video. Hopefully that crafting event is not a total cluster, because if it is not, or if it is rather, then this entire event is going to be, in my opinion, kind of blah. But overall, you guys, sorry if I'm in a bad mood, but a man can only take so much. But anyway, you guys, that's going to be today's video. I hope you all found it informative. If you did, smash that like button and subscribe. Let me know how you feel about the Valentine's Day events. Let me know how you feel about the events that are currently going on that are going to be going away tonight. That's great. Anyway, you guys, I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Peace.
Continue.